it's time for our Sunday slips. We're going to give out an outright winner we like. We're going to give out a finishing prop we like, and we are going to give out a head-to-head matchup that we like for this weekend at Martinsville. Zach, I'm going to start. I want to start with my matchup, and I'm going to take – I sent you some. I have pivoted. I have different ones here. Okay. I'm going to take Ty Gibbs to finish better than Brad Keselowski. He's minus 130. It's a lot of juice to squeeze, but I think it's worth the squeeze here. And it's more of a fade Keselowski spot because he hasn't been great at Martinsville in the next-gen car. Mm-hmm. He's got finishes of 33rd, 24th, 36th, and 17th in the 4 races running the next-gen. And I know that some of these finishes aren't indicative of where this team ran, whether it was pit stop strategy or wrecks, things of that nature. Regardless, the finishes are the finishes. And I think Ty Gibbs can finish better than Keselowski this weekend. He had top 5 speed in the fall. He's improved in every trip to Martinsville and Cup of his 3. And again, betting on Toyota to be very strong. I think Gibbs will have a fast enough car to beat Keselowski. Again, even if we are squeezing some juice here at minus 130. But I think that Gibbs, yes, he kind of fell back down to earth at Richmond. Wasn't really a factor at all. Didn't really mention his name at all when talking about the Toyotas. But I think it's a good spot here in Martinsville, and I think that he is going to finish better than Brad K. So give me Gibbs over Keselowski, minus 130.
Yeah, for my matchup, I think it's funny. It always tends to be this way when two guys kind of come head-to-head one weekend. They have a matchup on DraftKings the following week, but I think Truex and Hamlin is really interesting. And as we mentioned with Martin, I don't, even if it does come down to them two on the final lap, I don't think he's gonna do anything draft. I think it's just going to be regular Martin. And I think in that circumstance, you got to go with a guy who's willing to put it all on black, no matter who he's racing with. Denny, he pushes the envelope further than anybody in terms of what he's willing to do during a race. We've seen him and Larson come head-to-head, nose-to-nose multiple times just in the last year. And Denny's done that his whole career, and that's why I think he's going to hit 60 wins in his career. I think it's going to happen. Probably not this year. I don't see him winning, eight more times, but he's on such a different level, just mentally. The performance has been great. Truex has been amazing this year, honestly. Like if you look at the loop data and just everything, the numbers he's putting together, it's been a great year, but he just hasn't scored that win. And he's just, what did Kyle Petty call him? Eeyore, with his tail between his legs after a race. That tends to be where he gets mentally, but he usually bounces back pretty well. It's going to be a tight battle. I think Martin, he's led tremendous amount of laps here. You called it. Like when he does have that car and the execution and the team is there, he's unstoppable. He's been like that, when he joined Furniture Row Racing, then when he transitioned to Gibbs, just completely lights out. So it could be one of those days, and that's why this is a matchup that I'm looking at. I give Denny the advantage at minus 175 to Truex's plus 135, but I think it can get close. It's something I'm looking at.
For my winner, going a little long here because I think that there's not much value, in my opinion, for some of these outright winners this weekend on the draft board, but I was able to find Alex Bowman at plus 3,000. He's 28-1 on DraftKings, but plus 3,000 is the best number I've been able to find, and that is over on BetMGM. He's also there on Caesars, but 30-1 for Alex. Look, I'm a big "what have you done for me lately" kind of guy when it comes to drivers that I'm looking at in the betting market, and that number 48 has been doing a lot for me lately. Even getting trapped in that caution, he was very good at Richmond. So if it weren't for that, probably would have been a top 5 car. So like I said, won in 2021, has not been great here since. He's been like a 10th to 12th place car. But this is a bet where early in the week, I think the number is going to see movement. I think, again, it's a very big weekend for Hendrick. I think Bowman, with the speed he has shown, the form that this 48 has been in, is very impressive. And I kind of subtract a lot of that history, over the last couple of years, just because of the form that he's in. And again, he's healthy. He doesn't have the injury designation in coming back. And I think he's going to be a sneaky little pick this weekend. He's shown he can get it done, once before. So I think at plus 3,000, you're getting value for Alex. And again, I expect this number to get shorter. I think you're going to be looking more in the 25, 22 to 1 range once we get to the weekend. And of all the Hendrick Motorsports guys, when you have, the Larsons, I think Byron's number is great always, but I don't want to be chalk all the time because I feel like I talk Byron all the time. Even though the prices, there's still an advantage there. But give me Alex. I'm going to roll the dice a little bit and take Alex Bowman at plus 3,000.
Yeah, I think going into last week, I think Joey Logano would be considered kind of rolling the dice a little bit. But I just feel he's a momentum type of guy, and he's been really well at Martinsville. But yeah, Richmond was just such a great night for him, and not just the finish. It's not like he kind of found himself into second, because he wasn't. He was able to get second right at the end on that last restart, but he ran top 5 all night long. He was top 5 in average running position, driver rating, ran a bunch of fastest laps of the race. So just overall, that showed that this is here. He is here. And he has the highest average finish in the last 3 years at Martinsville. He's really the only guy on a real run of top 10s there. He's got 9 straight going back to 2019, which is really tough to do at a place like that. He's got a couple second place finishes these last couple years, and I think he's going to be could be really strong. Could he go back to where he was pre-Richmond? Totally could happen. But I think if he's going to wake up and start moving this year, I think Blaney can be right there with him. If he's going to do that, it would be right now. It's a good run of races for him.